Yeah, we have been doing these frames of the windows. Apparently, the frames of the windows, when they were done by the carpenter who was working on them, the design was very nice because he had designed an inside-out framing. The only problem that he did was that he screwed them, and then when he screwed them, they were leaving a gap in between. And as a result, that gap now becomes a concern in terms of what? Of water tightness. As you can see, this is his framing, right? There's gaps in between. There's screws that he was putting inside these walls. He was using these screws. But then let's look at this one. As you can see, this one is not that bad. But if you were to put a screw here, but then it leaves a gap as well. So what we did was to remove. We are removing everything, redoing all these window frames so that we give our client what is the most decent finish or the most beautiful finish, so that we do not have any problem that can be encountered when the rain starts next year. So you can see there is no frame now. We have removed. We're flashing the windows now. As you can see, the windows are flashing to the board, and then we will remove also here. Once they flash to the board, then we are doing the framing as it is here. This is our new framing now, right? Sitting right on the board and flashing on the board. So then it eliminates the concern of waterproofing. As you can see, it sits right on the board. It's similar to the main house. Your house, which is what you call the manor house. I've been there. I didn't go closer because I understand there's visitors there. I was just standing from a distance to observe, and they look more like this. Yeah. So this is the frame that we are doing. We have removed here as well on this door frame because we are going to also do the same here. So this is what we are doing now. You can see the strips. These are the ones that the gentleman who was working with us had installed. We had to remove. Even this corner, we are removing this whole corner because it's failing its purpose to get right inside. These frames, they are not complete right inside. They are actually to be inside those fascias. I don't know why he was making them shorter. So is here. As you can see also, they don't get in. Those small openings that he leaves now, they give room to water tightness problems. If this strip was inside of that handy plank and the fascia, then it was perfect. So we are removing these gutters. It's actually quite a lot of work that he has given us. We are going to remove the gutters for us to access this fascia that is going over there, for us now to then put this frame inside. Same here also, right? There he did well on this part because he put a strip there, right? He put a strip there. That part is where we are working from the inside because there is an opening there on this wall corner and also on that corner. There's a big opening that we are closing from the inside with timber, and then we are going to seal with fiber seal also on this strip side by side and strip side by side. The guys are on way. They'd gone to the hardwares because we're still buying materials even until now for this project. So as a result, you can see some of the areas there, they are not fiber sealed. They are going to come and fiber seal. And when they come also, they are starting to seal the windows with silicone inside and outside. We have got enough silicone that we bought. They are going to start siliconing all these windows inside and outside, right? And then this door frame also we are going to remove and see to it that we put the same type of framing. All these ones we are redoing these door frames. All of them we are redoing them in terms of the water tightness and to give a beautiful finish. We are removing all the frames on the doors and the frames on the windows. So we're going to remove all these, and then you can see some of the windows we have already removed. All these strips we have removed. Like here there's nothing, so we are removing like what you see here because we have to start and work on these frames perfectly now to make sure that there is no problem with waterproofing. I'm very happy with the roof. There is no problem. I wish it can actually rain a lot tonight because that is the prediction that there's going to be heavy rain, so that you can rest assured that this roof doesn't give in to rains. So you can see here we're flashing the window. Window is flashed now to the wall, and then there will be a frame similar to the one that is that side, same here also. And then also here we'll remove this door frame because it serves no purpose to have a frame that has got openings. The idea was very beautiful. He had actually done a nice design inside out, but then I think the execution part of it, in terms of flashing it thoroughly to the wall, it was missed because of the screws. When he put the screws on the bottom and on the center, wherever he was putting the screws, then they were leaving also some gaps, and those gaps now, they are the ones that are a concern. If I can go here, this is what I'm talking about, these gaps here. So as a result, we are flashing this the frames, and we'll get them right. Yeah, so there is a corner that is coming here, obviously right inside the gutter there. Remember, we are removing this whole gutter, and that other gutter we are removing, taking them down because we are working on a slope. We need to get a perfect slope for the gutter. Then we'll take our frame from the bottom right inside, and we'll remove those sidewall flashing to enable us to access there, and also these fascia boards that are going there, and return them. Yeah, this window is flashing as well, flashing now right on the wall. It's flashing on the wall, and then the framing will follow. So that is what we are doing here. Same here, this window has been made to flash as well, you see, and then we frame the similar way that we have framed that side. Yeah, so this is the fiber ceiling, it's been done thoroughly. I'll take you through this. You can see those are the joints wherever the boards are joining. Like I said, you don't get 6-meter full boards, you get them in 3.6, you get them in 3 meters. So as a result, there is going to be joints. But this is also part of the work that the painters would do in terms of preparation. However, like I mentioned, that when you are given a work to build a shell, it's always a problem because you are expected to give a client what he envisions as a final finish. Had we worked on this house complete, ready to move in, it was going to be different because we could have done all this or as part of our work also for painting. But we are closing. I didn't like the idea of these patches because I felt when you were going to get the painters, because I cannot say we because we don't know who is going to paint or who is going to be given this work to do the painting. They were going to do the same, but anyway, we have done the work for them, and we'll continue with the fiber ceiling so that we can rest assure you that this house is totally fiber sealed, right? The corners, as I said, he dropped them to the bottom and then they leave this opening. That was pointless because where it matters most is the top, where the sidewall flashing is meeting the roof. Before that gutter was connected, the bracket and the fascia, this frame was supposed to have been inside. So that is what we are going to do, taking it from the bottom right inside. It doesn't matter even if it's starting from there because there is nothing here, but the most important thing is it must close there. So when you are inside, that is the small hole that one would see, but we are closing them from the inside as well. Our carpenters inside, they've already started closing them, and then outside. So this is the fiber ceiling, right? This is the fiber ceiling that we are doing, and the fascias and these connectors. What is left is just to connect the gutter now and the down pipes. This is working with a slope now, but this is the fiber ceiling that we have done on all the joints. We are still going to remove these frames as well and correct them. And here we are going to work on this part because this strip is not right as well. It must be corrected. We are working on this one, and then we have this part here where they forgot to close. We are going to close this part with the Nutec and the planks, right? And underneath, like everyone knows by now, there is these ISO boards everywhere. There's ISO boards here, right? So these are the ISO boards, right? And they are also there under this one. This one is smaller to get in, but these ISO boards as well. As you can see, these ISO boards also there. Yeah, this is the what you call it, the foyer. We will close here, right? And close here. So there is somewhere at the bottom Okay, so we'll fix that side and we'll close here also with fiber seal. Yeah, fiber sealing also here. Then we'll correct here. I showed my carpenter these fascias. We need to put a connector here like that one. I think then it will be okay. And somewhere here on the bottom there were some openings. We worked on them from the outside in. So we've managed to close those gaps. It was because they were, when they decided to put this board, you can see this board is different from others. It's a classic handy plank. These are longer ones, 3.6. There are two actually. When they put them here, then it was making that opening. It's not to say that there was an opening. This was done as an afterthought to say, perhaps if we were to leave the handy plank, it's too much on top. Let's actually put something that will be dropped on the bottom. However, that is the reason now why it opened. So you can see the roof sheets are okay, no problem. We worked on thoroughly on the roof. They were done very well. Even the sidewall flashing, the ridges, we also worked on them and we corrected them. Yeah, as you can see. Corner still coming out in. Yeah, the corner there is still coming in. It's part of the work. We are still going to do the corner there. So we are removing these window frames that were there. As you can see on the corner there, once you remove the corner, the effect is you see the OSB board. So the corners, they play a very important role because they are for water tightness. Yeah, so we then removed all of them now. It's just left with a small piece there. And then we are starting to redoing the framing of these windows. The other material is on way, which is the dashboards for the corners. We are going to put the dashboards on the corners as well, cut them neatly. They will give a very beautiful finish, and also we are going to use them on the door frames and window frames. And that is also where we have the silicones, the gutters, the anchor nails. They are all coming. The guy who is bringing them is still on way, but he's coming with the material. Yeah, that is what the material that we need. Yes, the last material. It's isoboards, yeah. Isoboards all over. You see. So we have made sure that we thoroughly checked this house. If I take you inside, I was working there involved with the guys as well. I know exactly what we are doing to make sure that the floor is very solid. I checked the floor thoroughly. So yeah, this is the windows. We are reframing the windows so that they don't give in to waterproofing issues. You can see this is the neat finishing that we are doing now. This is our new frame now. This one. We're going to do it also there, and also here, and also there. We have removed everything, and also here we are still to remove this. And then this part, like I said, there's a deck, so this is not going to be closed. It remains like this throughout because there's going to be a deck, so it's going to be done once the deck is finished. It will be a continuation of this structure to the deck, right? Yeah, because we work according to what we are assigned to do, which is to build the shell only. Yeah, so this is what we have here. It's been a roller coaster of a project. 2 months. We started on 1st of November 2023, and today we are a day into the new year, into 2024, and we are still working on this project. It just shows how big this project was. Yeah, so here there is those strips that I was saying. I was talking about those two strips. We are going to make sure that side by side they are sealed with fiber seal. And here you see the door frame. It's going to be redone on the framing. We are also working on all these doors. We have started to work on them. I can tell you the last window, that's the one that had the lock that was bent. The lock, the key, sorry, the key is right now, is fixed, is working well. And also the doors are opening and closing well. We have worked on them and we are continuously working on them. All the doors, we are fixing the problems in there. Yeah, he has identified. The gutters, like I said, and downpipes, we are going to remove and work on them to give the slope so that water doesn't sit there when it rains. Yeah. So this is what we have here. I like the roof, very beautiful roof. Chromadeck 0.47 galvanized Chromadeck roof sheets. So these are the corrugated Chromadeck 0.47. It's a beautiful house. Once this house is painted, believe me, it will be very beautiful. When one sees unfinished products, which is just the shell, they tend to think that, oh, this house, and a lot of complaints. However, these are snags that we are working on. As of the structure, it's a very beautiful house for someone who is very rational and he knows a thing about construction. So here we are also making sure that we flush the frames to the windows. As you can see, the windows are right on the board. We had to take out all the windows, right? We had to take out all the windows. Yeah, so this is what we are doing. Let's see the inside now. Let's see the inside. Okay. Yeah, this is the floor. I checked this floor thoroughly. This floor is very, very solid, extra, super solid. It is very, very solid. I checked it thoroughly on each and every part of the floor. This floor, very solid. Even the other one in that other house, very, very solid. There is no way where it's wobbly. It's very solid, super solid. So there is no any complaint whatsoever in the floor. It's perfect. It's exactly what it should be. I understand there will be vinyl tiling on top according to the plan. So this is the floor. This is the floor, right? This is the floor, and then this is where we are going to put the anchor nails. They are on their way, being transported to the site. We are going to anchor this whole area on top of this plank, which is the upright wall frame. We put the anchor nails here. Like I said, roughly on every 15 centimeters or 150, we are going to, like here on the center, one, another one here, one, and so on and so on. But the floor is very good, right? It's very solid. So let's look on the walls, because I need to do a comprehensive check on the walls now. This is not the final finishing. There's going to be board lining and ceiling. So the walls are alright, there's no problem. There were some nails here and there that were coming out. We have just removed those or locked them inside, right? Those kind of walls. It happens, nails rather. It happens that some of the nails, when they are knocked on they will miss the timber. It's some of the human errors that happens, but we are knocking them in, so there is not any nail that is exposed, right? And besides, this is not the final finishing. We are going to have board lining and ceiling. There was an opening here, if you remember. We closed it because we worked from the outside. So that one is not a concern. And we have closed, everywhere is closed, right? On top, everywhere is closed. Everywhere is closed. I wish it can rain a lot today, because I need to make sure that the client is 100% satisfied that this house is 100% watertight. So there is no anywhere where there is an opening here. It's closed everywhere. The walls are perfect. The walls are perfect. It's just some minor things that, as human beings, who tend to point on, I do this, but otherwise, why don't you just give us the work to do a complete ready to move in house? And then you see that you get a perfect finishing at once. because then you'll be expecting to see a shell that looks like a completed house. It doesn't work. There's no way you get that, because you are always going to have somewhere where you say, oh, there's a small gap here, like here, there's a small gap here, oh, there's a small gap, but forgetting that when we work on doing the partitions, what we normally do at first is we do our framing, we knock the framing into the floor, drill them in, and then wherever now we are working, because that will be part of our work as we do the framing, things like this, you see, you would start to remove them, all those minor things like nails that are coming out, and anything that you feel is not right, you remove. But now, when you then put the insulation, which is the isotherm, how would you see? No client would see, isn't it? Because when you are working on your site, no client normally comes to check everything, right? There will be insulation, and all those things are covered, right? And the next thing, there's boards. Then there's insulation pegged in here, there's not ceiling, and then the next thing, there's boards. So doing a shell is the one that is allowing the client to see all the small things and complaining and pointing them out. But as spiritual homes, we make sure that it attends to them. Yeah, we are not complaining at all. That's why we're working here a day into New Year. We are working to make sure that we alleviate all those, we eliminate all those problems, minor as they are, snags, immaterial as they are. They are not big, very immaterial. Okay, the doors, we are working on them. This one is closing nicely without a problem, as you can see. And it would make sense when there's a deck in front, because right now when you open the door, there's nothing there. The windows, we took them out and we had to reinstall them. There's nothing wrong with the windows at all. You see, the doors, the windows also we took out and reinstalled. The door, let's see this one. They are opening nicely and closing nicely, and locking nicely. The only thing is there's nothing, it's hollow outside. If there was a deck, then yes. So yeah, the windows, this one also, the guys are busy working on all these doors. You see, let's see this one. You can see, this is the door opening. Just open it wide. So when you open in future, there will be a deck there. You see, it's opening, closing nicely. You can see it opening nicely there. These are the steps. Yeah, we still need to close here. We still need to close on this part. Yeah, we are working from the inside to close that. Here we wanted to put a tree board. As you can see, we are just going to work on this one because there's a small crack. Otherwise, the steps are alright. we still need to work on this one, on this door. Aenda. Huh? Magets. We are still going to close on this gate from the outside. Yeah? These are the gates. They are now very small because it was working from the outside. Yeah.